check.
Hello. Okay. Thank you very much.
Do you have a guitar lead sheet for it? I don't think I have.
I think you have it on your.
You think it's in the file?
I think it is, but here. Yeah. I think it was the very bottom. It was the last thing I wanted to try.
Living in our lands, declare that fear and hate are done. Rise above differences and stand in love
Nice. All right. And now the counseling.
You were right.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, everybody. First one.
First one.
Or, yeah.
Just stop at the end of verse one.
Yes.
Okay. We like this chalice.
1, 2, 3. We like this chalice, a symbol of peace. We like this chalice, a symbol of hope. And we know we are free to seek our truth. We like this chalice. We like this chalice. We like this chalice with wine. There is a, do you have an extra copy of this for Carolyn? There's a pot. Kyle, the ones that I handed you, could you give them to Carolyn? I know.
I'll go get mine. We can have it 3. I'll go get mine. And he'll take them.
First, starting at the beginning of the intro, and we're stopping at verse 2. Yes. So, 1, 2, 3. We like this chalice, a symbol of peace. We like this chalice, a symbol of hope. And we know we are free to seek our truth. We like this chalice. We like this chalice. We like this chalice. Can we just make sure to add something on the word truth? And we know we are free to seek our truth. We like this truth. Something rhythmic to get us through. So it could be me doing this. Truth. We like this. Or it could be you doing it.
Okay, yeah, let's try it again.
You want to do it?
I'll do something.
Okay.
Try it.
So, begin. 1, 2, 3. We like this chalice, a symbol of peace. We like this chalice, a symbol of hope. And we know we are free to
both songs? Are you gonna keep this? Just keep this if that makes sense.
Yeah, so just let me know what you want to do.
Okay, I'll find out what they want. Prefer that I use this instead of this when we're doing that. Right?
Yeah, I think he put it in there just so we could all hear you. I don't know that it makes all, I honestly don't know if it makes all that much difference. Because we do almost every other song we have, so whatever you're most comfortable with, I would say,
Take it off and hold it. Move around.
yeah. And honestly, then maybe it's whatever is like most convenient in terms of, but if it's convenient for you to come up here and grab that mic.
I'll tell them. That's not. Okay. Since it's already in that system, just leave that one like it is, and then I'll use this. Then I'll come down for that.
To those gathered in the sanctuary, we are about to start in a minute, and I'd like to teach you a little bit of what we have planned today. Our middle hymn, I Seek the Spirit of a Child. I'm going to invite you to really embody that by adding a little interlude in between each hymn that comes from the melody. I'm asking you all to sing la 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 every time on the song I Seek the Spirit of the Child. So we'll start with la 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 la. Can I hear you do that? Ready, and go. La 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 la. And the other thing that is new today is there is a new chalice lighting. And that sounds like this. It sounds like this. We light this chalice, a symbol of peace. We light this chalice, a symbol of hope. And we know we are free to seek our truth. We light this chalice, we light this chalice, we light this chalice with love. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Bella Thomas Wilson, and I'm a board member here at TVUC. On behalf of the board and the program council, it's my honor to welcome you here this morning. There we go. Today we have a special intergenerational service, which is always a delight, so get excited. As we enter this shared space today, know that you are surrounded by the love of this community where all are welcome. Whoever you are, whatever walk of life looks like, you are welcome here. If this is your first time here, or if you have been here so many times that you can't remember how many times you've been here, or if you are online, you are welcome here. If you would like more information on our church, please fill out the visitor card in the chair packet on the front, or the chair pocket in front of you, or you can find it on tvuuc.org and select Stay in Touch. If you are interested in religious exploration classes for your children or adult RE, please visit the RE hallway after the service through the double doors that are past the kitchen to speak with an RE leader. You can also find more information on our website or at the RE welcome table in the gallery just outside of the sanctuary. If you need any accessibility aids during the service, such as a large print hymnal, hearing device, or noise-canceling headphones, those can be found in a cart near the welcome table out in the lobby. Our ushers will be glad to show you the way or collect one for you if needed. If you are visiting us with small children, we invite you to sit up front where it is easier for your little ones to see what is going on. Please don't feel that you must keep them still. All are welcome here, and we understand that silence is never completely silent. You should also feel free to change seats at any time if you need to, stretch your legs. You and your children are also welcome in the E.E. Cummings room, which is right back there. We have a few announcements this morning. Firstly, on November 2nd, which is a Sunday, at 6:30 p.m., Matthew Blondell and Diana Bogan will be doing a grief gathering, a circle of remembrance at the Butchery, which is 2920 Sutherland Avenue. For further information, please reach out to one of them. The Adult RE Committee, the Beloved Community Program, and the Right Relations team invite you to next Sunday's Wait a Minute session, which is called Setting Boundaries. Join us as we explore Brené Brown's surprising research that finds that the key to living with more compassion is learning how to set clear boundaries. And that will be October 19th at 12:30 p.m. in Room A, and there will be pizza. Next, I'm going to call up Eddie Chin to give an announcement.
Good morning. How about them Vols? Next Saturday, on October 18th, the No Kings 2 rally is taking place in downtown Knoxville and at city blocks and town halls all around America. The first No Kings rally here in our scruffy little city brought out an estimated 7,500 people standing up to protect our democracy. UU The Vote with Joyce Green and me filling in for Ken Stevenson, who can't be there, will be opening the Lizzie Crozier French Room at church from 10:30 to noon on this Saturday. Sign-making supplies will be provided for those who would like to make one for the event, which runs from noon to 2 p.m. Coffee, donuts, and bottled water will be provided. We'll set up shuttles from here and carpooling. There is power in numbers. Come out and join us and exercise your First Amendment rights. In Dr. King's words, the time is always right to do what is right.
Amen.
Next, I'm going to call up Barbara Taylor to talk about Justice Knox.
Good morning. I have two things to tell you about. First of all, Justice Knox in this congregation is having its third and final first meeting of the year at my house on Tuesday. If you're not a member of my team, that's fine, you can come. If you want to learn more about the process of the Justice Knox year, you can come. We'll be out at our little table in the outside the sanctuary afterwards. But I'm also wearing red today, and that is very specific to Justice Knox when they go sometimes to speak to power, This time is to support power. Justice Knox needs our support to help pass an ordinance to designate up to $10 million of additional local option sales tax revenue if the proposed sales tax increase is approved in the November 4th general election. It would guarantee this additional money would be added to the restricted affordable housing fund and not used for any other purpose. These new dollars would be on top of the city's current commitment to contribute $5 million to the fund annually. Since this is one of our important justice action items, if you're not coming to my house, please consider going to this council meeting. You can wear red to show our solidarity. To carpool, meet at the TVUUC parking lot in time to leave at 5:30 sharp. Okay, and you can just read more about it with us after church. Thank you.
And last but not least, I will ask Aaron Tyrell to come and tell us about the UU Forum happening today.
All right, hey everybody. So at today's forum, we're going to be talking about the world of the Manosphere Comedy Podcast. So who here knows who Joe Rogan is? Okay. Now, who is aware that his audience is almost 10 times the size of any of the late night comedians or any show or on cable news? So part of the reason why what we want to do with the forum is help us understand this new media ecosystem and how it influences our culture and politics, especially among millennials and Gen Z who consume information in much different ways than those of us who can remember what VHF and UHF mean. So, has anybody seen the hilarious takedown made by Elephant Graveyard of the Joe Rogan comedy scene called Comedy Jonestown? So we're going to be basing our discussion off of this. A couple of you are really plugged in here. But this video has over 5 million views on YouTube and has really sparked a conversation about what is the difference between woke and anti-woke comedy? What, is comedy that punches down actually funny? And how did the guy who used to make people eat bugs on reality TV become the king of all media? So we'll be using the Elephant Graveyard as the basis for our discussion, but if you haven't seen it, you will still have plenty of interesting fodder to talk about. And I've got some snacks to keep you going after the service during coffee hour, and we'll get this conversation started at 1, and I hope to see you there.
I actually lied to you. I do have one more announcement. It's from the board. So the board is working on a new process to help streamline announcements at the beginning of the service, and we would like to share some details with you now. Starting at the first Sunday in November, announcements will need to be submitted in advance electronically, and they will be read from the pulpit only by a board member on duty, and there will be a brief summary of 1 or 2 sentences per announcement. We are also excited to tell you that we are working with the communication team to provide new and improved ways of sharing longer, more detailed announcements that can be accessed after the service. And there will also be a way to submit those online for people to access them. These announcements and others can be found in the back of your order of service and in our weekly email newsletter. Today is a Share the Plate Sunday, and to tell you more about what this is and how to give, here is Jillian Denham-Jones, our Director of Operations.
Good morning. This month, our Share the Plate supports I Support the Girls, a nonprofit that provides bras, underwear, and more to women and folks experiencing homelessness or distress. Founded in 2015, I Support the Girls has grown into a global movement serving survivors, youth, indigenous, and transgender individuals, refugees, and veterans. Our Knoxville affiliate, led by Erica Zuckerman, partners with UT nursing students and local organizations to distribute supplies across East Tennessee. Your October donations help restore dignity and comfort to our neighbors in need. Thank you.
After the service, please join us for coffee and conversation in the fellowship hall or out on the patio. If you're visiting and you would like a tour of the building or have questions about our church, look for me there and I'll be glad to chat with you or show you around. If you have not already done so, please silence your electronic devices as we enter to worship together.
Welcome to Banned Books Sunday at TVUC. This week has been the American Library Association's Banned Books Week, and this month we are also celebrating the 7th anniversary of our own Children's Diversity and Justice Library, a free community lending library hosted here at TVUC, now with nearly 2,500 books in our collection, all connecting with one or more of 14 primary dimensions of diversity and justice. In this church, in this community, we know that asking questions is a sacred and worthy practice. In this community, we know that all people, including children, deserve to see themselves and their families and the people they love and their experiences of life reflected in literature, and that we all deserve to learn how to understand and be respectful of people and identities and cultures and ideas that differ from our own too. And we know that difference is beautiful and necessary and worthy of lifting up and celebrating. This morning, you may have noticed that our chancel is a little different than usual. We've built a pop-up banned books library right up here that includes books from our Children's Diversity and Justice Library collection that are among those listed by PEN America as having been banned in one or more public school districts in 2024 to 25. PEN America's list includes 119 books which have been banned from Knox County schools and 335 from Oak Ridge schools among the list of nearly 4,000 titles. 197 books in our CDJ library collection are on that list, and they are here. Not quite all of them. There are some that are checked out. And the majority of books on that list are teen books, and so only 65 of our 100 teen books that are on that list are up here with us this morning. But there are quite a few juvenile and middle grades books too, as well as 36 picture books and 5 board books that are on that list that are in our collection that include titles such as An ABC of Equality, and Yes, No, A First Conversation About Consent. So keep in mind that all the books we've brought up here today are specifically targeted by name for removal or restriction from access. But an even bigger issue is a kind of shadow ban of books that will never be shelved in the first place, or having access restricted even if they are still in collections, like in the Knox County Public Libraries, where there are some books that are tagged as being in a parenting collection, which means they are not allowed to be shelved with the picture books in any public library. They have to be in a separate section. or are being quietly removed because of new legal restrictions or worry about backlash or reprisal, even if the books themselves are not specifically named. While many of the books on the list of banned books are teen books, picture books in particular are threatened by this shadow ban. Many more of the books in the CDJ library will not be found in any public school library and are not in the Knox County Public Library system either. Now, while we usually tell stories rather than read them here in our worship services, today is a very good day to read some books. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to be sharing 3 picture books from our collection that are from that list today. One of the reasons we don't usually read books in our services is because there's no good way to make sure everybody can actually see the pictures. So we're going to do our best today, and we're going to invite, when we read those books, anybody who'd like to see them more clearly to come forward. We're going to have 2 copies of the books being shown. And I'd like to suggest, too, that the text of the stories themselves are well worth experiencing, even when we don't also see the images. Today's service lifts up stories of joy and hope, stories that might just show up at an anti-despair book club, stories that celebrate the beauty and diversity of human bodies, of people who spread joy and kindness and beauty, and of communities coming together to celebrate love and families of all different kinds. They include characters who are unapologetically themselves, who are remembering loved ones who have died, and who are just being human together. So I invite you, as we read these books this morning, to reflect on what messages they convey that someone found so threatening as to insist that young people should not be allowed access to them. And we would love for you to come up and read. So we have our library here, and we want our libraries always to be living libraries, so kids and adults are welcome to come on up anytime during the service and hang out here and take a look at our books. And you can also come up after the service is over to take a look at some of the many wonderful books that have been challenged and removed. And we'll have an opportunity for anybody who hasn't already gotten a free account for the CDJ library. If you would like to, speak to me and I can set one up for you so you can check these books or books in the library out. Today, we gather in community to celebrate the value of books, of knowledge, of honesty and access, of joy and pride. Come, let us worship together.
This chalice, symbol of peace. We light this chalice, a symbol of hope. And we know we are free to seek our truth. We light this chalice, we light this chalice, we light this chalice with love.
Our opening hymn is a special hymn that I guess Davey can say more about it.
Well, this is a hymn I learned from Leilana Romero at the AUUMM conference, and it's kind of a boot camp chant. So if you'll repeat after me, forget your perfect offering. Just ring the bells that still can ring.
Just ring the bells that still can ring.
There is a crack in everything.
There is a crack in everything.
That's how
the light
gets in.
That's how the light gets in.
Yeah, so that goes, that's how
the light
gets in.
That's how the light gets in.
Forget your perfect offering.
Forget your perfect offering.
Just ring the bells that still can ring.
Just ring the bells that still can ring.
There is a crack in everything.
There is a crack in everything.
That's how the light gets in.
How the light gets in.
Forget your perfect offering.
Forget your perfect offering.
Just ring the bells that still can ring.
Just ring the bells that still can ring.
There is a crack in everything.
There is a crack in everything.
That's how the light gets in.
That's
how the light gets in. Forget your perfect offering.
Forget your perfect offering.
Just ring the bells that still can ring.
Just ring the bells that still can ring.
There is a crack in everything.
There is a crack in everything.
That's how the light gets in.
That's how the light gets in.
Forget your perfect offering.
Forget your perfect offering.
Just ring the bells that still can ring.
Just ring the bells that still can ring.
There is a crack in everything.
There is a crack in everything.
That's how the light gets in. 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 Thank you.
The first book that we are going to share this morning is Bodies Are Cool, written and illustrated by Tyler Fetter. It is not listed in the collection of any public school in Knox County and is on PEN America's list of books specifically banned by one or more school systems in the U.S. in 2024 to 25. It is available in the Knox County Public Library, but is segregated into the parenting collection and not allowed to be shelved in the picture book section of any library. Our story begins. Big bodies, small bodies, dancing, playing, happy bodies. Look at all these different bodies. Bodies are cool. Lanky bodies, squat bodies, tall, short, wide, or narrow bodies, somewhere in the middle bodies. Bodies are cool. Round bodies, muscled bodies, curvy curves and straight bodies, jiggly wiggly fat bodies, bodies are cool. Dark skin, olive skin, every shade of brown skin, pinky pale or peach skin, bodies are cool. Poofy hair, wavy hair, springy curls, and flat hair, lots of hair or no hair, bodies are cool. Lots of kinds of hair in this room, too, aren't there? There's more hair. Leg hair, armpit hair, fuzzy lip and chin hair, brows meet in the middle hair, bodies are cool. Hazel eyes, brown eyes, monolids and round eyes, blind and wearing glasses eyes, bodies are cool. Crooked faces, bump-nosed faces, flat nose, full lips, gap-toothed faces, stick-out ears, and thin-lip faces, bodies are cool. Freckled bodies, dotted bodies, rosy patched or speckled bodies, dark skin swirled with light skin bodies, bodies are cool. Hairy fingers, wrinkly fingers, dimpled elbows, chubby fingers, wobbly arms, and stubby fingers, bodies, I think you know, are cool. Soft tummies, saggy tummies, flat or sticky outie tummies, innies, outies, pregnant tummies, bodies are cool. Thick legs, scrawny legs, knobby knees and long legs roll up to the table legs. Bodies are cool. Faint scars, bold scars, stripes from getting bigger scars, marks that tell a story scars. Bodies are cool. This body, my body, his and her and their body, however you define your body, bodies are cool. Growing bodies, aging bodies, features rearranging bodies, magic ever-changing bodies. Bodies are cool. My body, your body, every different kind of body, all of them are good bodies. Bodies are cool. Thank you.
All right, I want to invite you to join with me in a body prayer. So just to practice, let's move our arms a little bit. Just get our arms going. Maybe the other arm. Okay, I invite you to put your hands this way. This is an attitude of reverence, respect, whatever symbol of worship or whatever comes to your mind when you put your hands this way. Next, I invite you to raise your arms just to take in everything that's bigger than ourselves, the wonder of existence, the universe, everything that's all around us. And bring your hands back to your heart. Just know the source of all good religion is a good heart. Just drink in that good heart energy that's all around you. And reach out your hands to help. Reach out your hands to make a difference in the world, and then receive everything the world has to give you and let it into your heart, and then back to prayer. So we'll do this quietly. Y'all have to do is remember the body movements. Amen.
The next book we're sharing is One Day in June by Tourmaline and illustrated by Charlotte Christensen. It is not in any Knox County school or public library. It is the only book we're sharing today that is not on the PEN America's list of specifically banned books. It was published too recently to show up. Remember that the specific book bans target books that are already shelved, but it is subject to the much more pervasive shadow ban of books that are being categorically restricted. We invite you to reflect on which of this book's messages those working to ban access to books think is too dangerous for young people to be exposed to. Our story begins. Look at us out here, happy as can be, endless joy as far as the eye can see. Marcia sure does love this scene. Do you know about Marcia? Close your eyes and picture her, my friend, Marcia P. Johnson, radiant, a whirlwind of love. She adored people in all their many shapes. You see the packages we come in? The way we are exactly ourselves, no more, no less. That's because of Marcia. Marcia was more than an activist. She was more than a performer or a disco dancer. She loved people just as they were, and she had a good time doing it. Marcia knew that's how we change the world. Back in Marcia's day, Times Square was a hustle-bustle place, grit and grime, shimmer and shine. It could be a good time, but it wasn't always. Saint Marcia called Times Square her living room. She took care of her best friends. They found a way to be fabulous and to thrive together. They could laugh at just about anything. Sometimes you had to. Marcia knew a joke makes the hard times easier. What makes you laugh? Mom, can I get an ice cream sandwich? Oh, honey, I don't have enough money today. Marcia would give her last dollar to a friend for any reason at all. She knew the small joys in life are what really matter. Here, take my tips from last night. Go and get some ice cream. Marcia knew that to give is to receive. Her friends used to say, the more you share, the less you need. Marcia was a disco girl. She could sparkle with the best of them, and she had a gift for making friends. Like a honeybee dancing from flower to flower, Marcia glittered, spreading joy and happiness to the people around her. Her smile and her laugh were sweet as nectar. Marcia would go to Raoul's restaurant every day. Someone always made sure she had enough to eat. Then she would boogie on the tabletops. Marcia knew happiness is like fuel. Did you get enough to eat? You're going to need your energy for the rally. Where are we going again? When we can find our joy, we can show up for others. The March for Black Trans Lives. It feels good to show up for people when they need us. Marcia knew that sometimes we need to take change into our own hands. In the flower district, Marcia would gather fallen blooms and weave them together. You never saw her without that flower crown. Sometimes she'd buy a $5 bouquet, tear it apart, and put the flowers in her hair. That was a lot of money for Marcia, but to her, it was worth it. In her crown, Marcia transformed from a plain old caterpillar into a dazzling butterfly. Some people didn't understand Marcia's beauty, but she paid no mind to them. She loved the way she looked. Marcia knew that dressing how we please is a radical act. The world would just have to get used to it. Marcia was royalty, and all the village was her court. We used to call her the Queen of Christopher Street. People were always caught up in her glow, admiring her, snapping her picture. Like a blossom in the sun, Marcia basked in the attention. She knew that when you feel good, you can make others feel good too. To Marcia, all the world was a stage. Marcia's message has never been more alive in what we do. If you listen carefully, you can hear her in the flowers and the bees and the butterflies in the voices of people showing up for each other. I believe in Black trans women. Look at us out here, happy as can be, celebrating each other in all our many shapes. That was the best ice cream ever. Wow, your hair looks amazing. I want to dance. People may not always understand our beauty, but we keep showing up exactly as we are. We too know how to create endless joy as far as the eye can see. That's because of Marcia. The end.
It's now time for our offering. As many of you know, I have grandchildren that live in Fort Collins, Colorado, which is a long way away. And so one of the main ways we visit is through video calls. And sometimes when we're having these calls, we'll have a guest who wants to have some cookies. Or someone who wants to come on and sing la 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 Elmo song. Other times they'll call me when I'm here at the church and I'm at work, and so I'll take that video call down to the Children's Diversity and Justice Library, and I will share with my grandchildren some of the stories that we have heard today and some of the other good books that are there. So the CDJL library helps me with my grandparenting. Now, the stories we have been sharing today are all about how people can get along with each other. I remember when Jeff Meller was teaching our preschool Sunday school class many years ago, he took it upon himself to try to teach preschool children the very long name of our church. And here is how he did it. And repeat after me. This was how he taught our preschool kids. Here we are, at the Tennessee Valley, Unitarian, Universalist, Church, with our friends, and we hope, one day, all the people of the earth will be friends. And that's the same mission as the CDJL library, creating a world where all the people of the earth can be friends. Now, one of the ways that we make this hope rule, this hope real, is we learn new things. For instance, this week, for the first time, I learned that the person who wrote the theme song for the Magic School Bus is Little Richard. I never knew that. When David told me, I thought, good golly, Miss Molly, I never knew that. Woo! Can you make that sound with me? Woo! Anytime you hear that sound in a song, you know Little Richard influenced that artist. Now, Little Richard is from my hometown of Macon, Georgia. And he was a gay man who felt conflicted. He felt like he had to choose between his body and his spirit, between the secular world of rock and roll and the sacred world of the church. He felt conflicted inside, but sometimes he was also very honest about who he was. He would sometimes introduce himself by saying, I'm Little Richard, the king of the blues and the queen too. But when he was young, his father would put him in boxing matches and hoping someone would beat the gay away. That's how hard that was for him. But he grew up singing in Pentecostal churches. He later told a journalist, there was so much poverty, so much prejudice in those days. I imagine people had to sing to feel their connection to God, to sing their trials away, to sing their problems away, to make their burdens easier and their loads lighter. Or as the Reverend Duncan Teague says, if I'm going to go through hell all week, I want some heaven on Sunday. So Little Richard made music, and that was a way to teach love because music is the universal language. Now, I recently read a book about Little Richard, and I don't think you'll find it in any of the Knox County schools, but it's an excellent book. And one of the things I realized in listening to his conflicted life where he felt like he either needed to be at church or he needed to be doing rock and roll, I kept thinking how nice it would have been if he'd grown up in a church where he knew that he could put body and soul together, the secular and the sacred together, to bring all of who he was and all of who we are together. So that is one of the things. Little Richard is very close to my heart because we have that hometown connection and a desire for pride. Now, I'm not sure if you'll be able to find this biography in just any bookstore, but there is a bookstore in my daughter Sally's neighborhood in the north side of Cincinnati. That's an area of Cincinnati where you see a disproportionate number of pride flags everywhere. It's a very multiracial and multicultural part of that city. And there's a bookstore there called Downbound Books. And in that bookstore, they have an anti-despair book club that meets once a month. And that's what I like to think of as our CDJL library, is an anti-despair book club. And when we have an anti-despair book club, it's good for our body and our spirit. Lanky bodies, squat bodies, tall, short, wide, and narrow bodies, somewhere in the middle bodies, round bodies, muscled bodies, curvy curves and straight bodies, jiggly wiggly fat bodies, freckled bodies, dotted bodies, rosy patched and speckled bodies, dark-skinned, swirled, and light-skinned bodies. We need books that remind us the more we share, the less we need. That happiness is like a fuel, that we can take change into our own hands, that we can find joy when we show up for other people. When we feel good about ourselves, we can help other people feel good too. And if we dress how we please, that's a radical act of beauty. Other people might not understand our beauty, but we will know we have it inside. This week I was watching a television news story about someone who grew up in our church, Alyssa Looney, who led a walkout at the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, where she is now a senior at the university. She was protesting the state ban on diversity, equity, and inclusion projects. She was protesting that they're getting rid of some of the clubs that are around those values. And she told a reporter one of the reasons she felt moved to activism was because she saw so much apathy all around her. And this is what she said on television. We want to be the spark that lights the flame of this movement, to say all people matter, all communities matter, and everyone is equal. When our future grandchildren ask us where we were on the side of righteousness, we need to tell them we were fighting for the right thing. I could not be more proud. I also noticed as she was leading the march, she had a t-shirt that said, "Women who behave rarely make history." And she is working on a statewide, she wants students from all over the state, college students, to engage in a walkout on October 27th. So if you're a UT student or a student at Pellissippi and you're interested, and I can help you get together with her, have some sort of communication, and together you can make good trouble. So let me end by saying a chant that the students led at their protest, and that chant was, "Cookies." No, Cookie Monster. The chant wasn't cookies. The chant was, "La la la la, la 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 la, Elmo song." No, Elmo, that wasn't the chant either. But have you ever noticed the people who want to ban books also want to ban puppets? What's with that? And I love seeing all those inflatable frogs in Portland, you know, bringing childhood back to the work of social justice. But the chant that Alyssa led the people in is just repeat after me, and then we'll say it together. No hate, no hate. No fear, no fear. Everyone is welcome here. No hate, no hate. No fear, no fear. Everyone is welcome here. Let's say it together. No hate, no fear. Everyone is welcome here. No hate, no fear. Everyone is welcome here. No hate, no fear. Everyone is welcome here. So be it. Amen. We're going to join together in singing. You may remain seated for hymn 338, "I Seek the Spirit of a Child."
And as you seek the spirit of a child, try singing this. La 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 before and after each verse.
The final book we are sharing this morning is Granddad's Pride, written and illustrated by Harry Woodgate. It was a 2024 Lambda Literary Lammy Awards finalist and won the book award for Best Children's Literature on Aging from the Gerontological Society of America. It is not listed in the collection of any public school or public library in Knox County and is on PEN America's list of books specifically banned by one or more school systems in the US in 2024 to 25. It begins with a kid named Millie who shares her story with us. Every summer, I stay at my granddad's house by the sea. There are lots of fun things to do, like feeding granddad's chickens. Have any of us here ever fed chickens? Or going to the beach in his camper van. While Mom and Dad unpack, Gilbert and I go adventuring. Gilbert loves exploring, especially if it involves chickens. Together, we build a pirate fort in Granddad's attic and search for hidden treasure. What's this? It will make the perfect sail for our ship. Millie, dinner's ready, calls Granddad. Aha, I see you found my old pride flag. What's pride? I ask. Pride is like a giant party where we celebrate the wonderful diversity of our communities and demand that everyone should be treated with equality and respect, no matter who they love or what gender they are. And there are signs on the page that say, love is a human right, equality for all. It's okay to say gay. All we need is love and trans rights now. When your Gramps and I were younger, we went to lots of pride parades. We marched and danced and sang and made lots of new friends along the way. Can we go to Pride? We could go in your camper van. Oh, my partying days are over. I'm far too old and the city is far too busy. Granddad is older, but surely he has plenty of partying in him yet. Why don't we celebrate Pride here instead, I ask. Granddad needs some persuading, but the next morning we suggest my idea in the village. Soon it's decided. And there's a sign showing that says, Village Pride, this could be us. Sun, ice cream, rainbows, love. LGBTQ plus liberation, we need your help. We are going to have our very first Village Pride. We put up posters asking for volunteers, and before long, the village is bustling with activity. My wife and I will make some flower arrangements, says Mrs. Alvis. I can offer some rainbow carrots, says Mr. Singh. I help Mrs. McLaughlin and her daughter Fleur make a Pride-themed book display at the library. Over the next few days, banners are made, flags are flown, and songs are sung. Some of Granddad's neighbors are even going to put on a drag show. I join Fleur and her best friend Io to make costumes for the parade. I feel shy at first, but I remember what Granddad says about making new friends. Soon we are roaring with laughter, and there is glitter everywhere. Io's sibling, Temmie, works at the bakery, and we help them bake some tasty treats. Each color of the pride flag has a special meaning, and they're all included in this cake, Temmie explains. As they tell us about the history of pride, I feel proud to be playing my part. Just like our cake, it's who you are on the inside that matters. Pride is about sharing all your beautiful colors with the world. There's only one thing left to do before the big day. Plan the route the parade will take. That night, I can barely sleep. I am so excited. Have any of us ever been so excited we could hardly sleep at night? But when Granddad comes to say goodnight, he seems distracted. I wonder what he could be worrying about. On parade day, the village is filled with laughter, color, and light. But Granddad is nowhere to be seen. Oh no. Does Granddad feel sad that Gramps isn't here to enjoy Pride with him? What if he's decided not to come? Today won't be the same without him. We search everywhere, my excitement fading away. Suddenly, I spot a familiar splash of pink. It is that camper van. Granddad is leading the parade. Thank you all for coming. Today, let's celebrate love, joy, hope, and families of all different kinds. Together, we can build a world where everyone is proud to be themselves. You and Gramps are so similar, says Granddad. He was always coming up with clever ideas, just like you. You would have so loved each other. I think I spot a tear in Granddad's eye, and then rain starts gushing down. But everyone keeps on dancing and marching and singing. Granddad looks out to sea and smiles. A rainbow shimmers over the horizon. Perhaps Gramps is here with us after all. Thank you. And now please join us in singing our hymn, Now Let Us Sing. And the words are an insert in the order of service. Oh, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. We're not there yet. I skipped. It'll come a little bit later.
Thank you, Catherine. Good morning and welcome to everyone here at the church and to everyone watching the live stream. My name is John, and I'll be sharing the congregational joys and concerns this morning. The Straub Amaker family has shared that baby Otto George Amaker arrived on Friday, October 3rd. Everyone is healthy and happy. Miriam and Richard Davis share that their dear friend, Dr. Lois Russell, passed away at the shockingly young age of 101. If something good happened in Knoxville in the past few decades, Lois was likely to have been a part of it. She had a long career teaching political science at Knoxville College. She also worked with the League of Women Voters, as well as the Knoxville Police Action Review Committee, the Roman Haas Community Partnership Grants, and many other civic organizations. Miriam and Richard share that they will miss her wit and conversation and endless curiosity. We have received an update regarding Lynn Mullins. Lynn is refusing food and water at this point, and a member of the hospice team tells us that Lynn is not expected to live more than 10 more days. Denny, Lynn's husband of 46 years, says that although she is not responding with much more than a nod of yes or no, he knows, and I quote, "She has always been an open-door person and so sociable," end quote. She would welcome your visits, and Lynn is currently residing at Viva Senior Living, that's VIVA Senior Living, which is located at 360 Laboratory Road in Oak Ridge. She is in room 241. Becky Chaffee, whose flute playing we have enjoyed here on numerous occasions, shared a humorous account including a mix of joys and concerns. Beginning with breaking her left wrist 5 weeks ago, and then breaking her right wrist earlier this week, along with spraining her ankle, she is happy to report that she recently made her first trip up Mount LeConte since her hip replacement earlier this year. Go, Becky. It was delightful to see Jama Reinhardt at a workshop earlier this week. Jama grew up in the church, the daughter of Tom Reinhardt and Kathy Paisley, of blessed memory. Jama and her husband, Juan Carlos, are the happy parents of 2-year-old Luna and 2-month-old Stella. Cadence Collins, whose clear soprano voice we have enjoyed here on numerous occasions, had minor surgery on Wednesday. She is grateful for the support we have provided through the Mill Train. You can help with her healing process by logging on to the link sent out earlier this week. And we want to wish Eddie Perez, who recently had knee replacement surgery, continued healing. And Jennifer Fowler shares that she is at home after having shoulder replacement surgery, and she asks that we send healing light. To everyone with joys and concerns, both shared and unspoken, we send you love and we send you light.
And now I invite you to rise and body your spirit for our closing hymn. Now let us sing. It's an insert in your order of service.
Now let us sing.
Sing to the power of the books we love.
Let us sing.
Sing to the power of the books we love.
Lift up your voice.
Lift up your voice. Be not afraid. Sing to the power of the books we love.
Now let us sing.
Sing to the power of the words within.
Let us sing.
Sing to the power of the words within. Lift up your voice. Be not afraid. Sing to the power of the words within.
Now let us sing.
Sing to the power of the things we
Now
learn.
let us sing.
Sing to the power of the things we learn.
Lift up your voice.
Lift up your voice. Be not afraid. Sing to the power of the things we learn.
Now let us sing.
Sing to the power of the world we'll
Now
build.
let us sing.
Sing to the power of the world we'll build. Lift up your voice. Be not afraid. Sing to the power of the world we'll build.
Prophetic Church, the world awaits your liberating ministry. Go forward in the power of love. Proclaim the truth that makes us free.